Hey everybody, Randall Cornett here. Hope you guys are enjoying a fabulous Memorial Day weekend. Before we get started in the content, I wanted to take a second with you guys to reflect on why we're having this holiday and acknowledging that the people that we're celebrating have given the ultimate sacrifice, and not only them, but their families for our country. They afforded us the ability to do things like participate in the stock market, freedom of religion, and live overall free lives where you know, some people are not as fortunate. So just be grateful that we live in the country we do, and make sure you're taking a few seconds just to reflect back and acknowledge why we're having this holiday. That being said, we will jump right into the content. So what I do want to start with actually is the German market. So if you don't know, now you know. We closed at 25 euro. I went ahead and did that conversion for you guys. That puts us at as of Germany's market closing, we're sitting at $30.82. Overall, that's looking very strong to me, especially with the little bit of a dip that we had Friday, knowing that these guys picked up our slack and bounced us right back to where we should be going. Very bullish, and I'm super excited about that. And I applaud you Germans for picking up the slack. You guys did a great job. Moving past that, I do want to talk about the title that you guys probably came here to this video, and that is dark pool purchases. So what I want to, let me start off by saying these orange bars and their price is the volume and the price that these dark pool transactions happened, okay? And there's one big one that is very unique, and I'll give you guys two different scenarios and what they could mean for us, and just so you guys are informed and well prepared, whatever the outcome. But they purchased 900,000 in a big dark block. The value of that is $30 million. The transaction took place at $34.25. That was the price of the security at the time the transaction took place. You can see that is this big orange bar that we're looking at here. So here's I'll give you the guys the good part and the bad part about this. All right. Let me just start by saying I've tried to make sense in the most positive light of the dark pool. But at the end of the day, I do agree that it's probably shouldn't exist. That being said, it does. So what could it mean? So just giving you guys a position, let's say I was an institution that wanted to go long on AMC. I'm with the apes. I'm riding this, and I think this thing's going to skyrocket. The benefit of me making this purchase in the dark pool, and I'll give you guys an example. Let's say I was going to come through, and I was the guy that was purchasing these 900,000 shares. Oh, let me take a step back. Actually, just remember that there's a buyer and seller. In order to buy something, you have to have somebody selling it, right? So these transactions are sells and buys, okay? So I just want you guys to understand that. So if I was going to go and I was going to buy, this would be like a one-on-one transaction is almost how the dark pool works. So let's say if I was going to pretend all you viewers are just a single person, I grouped you guys all into one person, and me, I'm my individual person as well. I called you up on the phone and I say, hey, look, tomorrow morning, I want to buy a big block of 900,000 shares of AMC, and this is the price I'm willing to pay for it. Okay. And you say, okay, sure. Yeah, we'll do that. And we execute it, and boom, we do the trade. The benefit, why would I do that? Number one, there's a couple reasons. Number one, I want to hide and shield what I'm doing. I want to fly under the radar. That's a given. Everybody knows that. But also, if I was to execute this trade on the actual market, there's no one that's going to be able to fill a 900,000 block order just like that, like in a snap of a finger, right? Fill the whole entire order. So what's going to happen? It starts getting filled. The apes see it. They're smart apes. They see it in the level twos. They start picking up on what's going on, and all of a sudden the price starts rising. It gets much more expensive for me to take my position, right? Like I'm saving tons of money by using the dark pool. The inverse of that, the negative side of it, we just don't know the intentions of what is going on, the people that are purchasing this. So if I said, I want to believe that, some of these people are going long and they're trying to get a discount, and just because they know this thing's about to skyrocket to the moon. But there's also some nefarious stuff that can go on. It could be somebody that's purchasing the shares and actually selling them, right? Like, basically, how do I put this? They could be wanting to short the market. They could be using it against us. They could have just been buying more ammo. But at the end of the day, that really doesn't change what's already been happening to us. So that's important for you guys to realize that this is something that would be like business as usual for them, right? In fact, if they want to go ahead and dig their hole deeper, by all means do it, just because it's going to increase the money that you and I are making when all this is said and done. But just understanding that how that could work in both ways. Nonetheless, this is some pretty large money going on in the dark pool. 900,000 shares, $30 million is nothing to turn our noses up at. And then also, if you look here, that's not the only one. That's just the largest one. On the same day, just a little bit later in the day, there was another dark pool purchase that came through, 275,000 in a block trade, $7.4 million. You could see that as well. There was actually 4 dark pool trades that went on. So overall, what does that mean? I don't really know, but I know that these are some rather large numbers going on in the dark pool, especially on a specific day, right? It's the largest one that I've seen as of yet. All right, so what are we looking at? Moving past the dark pool stuff, we can take a look a little bit at the options chain. If you don't know, there's been a lot of new strike prices that we'll be seeing that a lot of people will be able to purchase tomorrow. It's increasing from where it was at. But just looking at Friday's option chain, I do want to say that there was a lot of people picking up these June 4th and June 18th call options, and for some big money as well. Also, some of them are on the new strikes that were actually introduced to the market on Friday. So people flooded in those options with open interest as well. If you've been watching my videos, you know what these colors mean, but just to quickly update the new guys that haven't seen or heard me explain what they are, a gold usually means money for me if it's on a call, because that means that this person is making a big bet, a big enough bet that their single order exceeded the open interest that was previously there on the contrast, just in the single order. So that means that when you see gold, that means somebody on that strike price exceeded the open interest, which is a pretty big buy, right? That's a bold and bullish move. So there's some big money on these $45 strike prices, 160,000, 140,000. And these are just single contracts, right? And sweep orders means that they went to multiple different exchanges and got them filled out as quickly as possible, right? They went to a bunch of different brokers to get them. And also the AA, I know a lot of you guys, again, have heard me say this, but if you don't know, AA at this last little identifier at the end means above the ask. So that means that they're like, hey, I don't care if I'm paying a little bit more. I just want the shares. Can you please just fill it? Like, get it to me. That's a very impulsive and bullish move when you see AA at the end of that. So looking strong, and I'm expecting the new option, the options got released just recently to get filled up even heavier come tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week. Could possibly be leading us to a gamma squeeze, which, if you don't know what that means, I'm not going to get into it too far, but basically the market makers that are selling these options will do what's known as a hedge, a delta hedge, and they basically will try and take on the role as like assuming that these option buyers are going to exercise those contracts, and they'll need to have those shares ready. So if they do start going to hedge that means buying pressure, which at the end of the day is good for us. So on Friday also, AMC was the number one active security when it comes to calls. So it had the most calls that were purchased, and it had the most value. So pretty good stuff there. Moving past the option and the dark pool data, quickly we'll go over FinTel. And I'm becoming less and less of a fan of FinTel lately, but I do like it to see some of the 13F data, which we'll look at here just shortly. So the short interest is reported twice a month. The first reporting of May, we were sitting at 94 million. I don't believe this number to be true. I think it's still a very high number. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's much higher than that. FinTel says we're sitting at the short interest is 33.21% of the float. If we want to go up and look at the short shares available heading into tomorrow, we're sitting at around 500,000, but that hasn't been updated since the 29th. If we want to take a look at some of these institutional buyers real quick. On the 28th, let's see here. No, I want to see buyers. Yep. On the 28th, it looks like we had I'm looking for some of the larger filings. Green means they're a new position. This is a good one. Nuveen, the NASDAQ 100 Dynamic Overwrite Fund, picked up 51,000 shares. And that's a completely new position. The green indicates that. Um, I'm trying to see if there's any other prominent names that I can see in here. Nothing too much. You guys can pause the screen if you guys want to look at this. This shit's boring to me. I'm starting to, again, to not really enjoy FinTel that much. And that being said, that's pretty much it, guys. So remember that the dark pool stuff, it's interesting to see. It provides a lot of insight in terms of what these guys are doing behind the scenes. We just don't really know what it is exactly or what their intentions are, but there is some big volume going on the day-to-day basis. That's the largest dark pool transaction I've seen as of yet since I've been watching it. So I thought that was pretty unique. Just be prepared, guys. Have the mental fortitude to know that we could see a lot of different things. It could be a roller coaster, but it's going to be a roller coaster worth riding. The new guys, don't be afraid if you see, the price go in a lot of different ways in a short period of time. And I've said this in the last video, but if you didn't hear my war cry, you are in this for life-changing money, not pennies on the dollar, right? So with that being said, get your mind right. Enjoy the rest of your time with your families. Enjoy the holiday weekend. Remember why we're celebrating. I'm going to go and hang out with my family, maybe get crunk, have a little bit of fun, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be doing a live stream where we'll look at the live options chain with the no 20-minute delay, and we can look at what some of this institutional money is doing early in the morning. We'll be doing that live. But if you enjoyed the content, please leave me a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Also, leave a comment. I go through them at night, and I'll try my best to get to you guys, respond to you guys. I just like chatting with you guys, getting to know you. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Love you long time. Peace.